Welcome back to the Go to Go podcast, man. Episode 113, week 12 of the NFL season right upon us, man. This week you got a couple hot or not for me. Then we're going to jump into our week 12 pick'ems, man. Why don't you go ahead, kick off this episode.
Hot or not, Bo Nix will be the rookie of the year.
I say right now it's not a hot take, man. Jane Daniels, since that rib injury, not been the same player out on the field. Bo Nix has been a completely different player, a field goal away from beating the Chiefs, and they went on a nice little run, and the Broncos look like there's some AFC potential in the playoffs here. So kudos to, your boy Sean Payton, Bo Nix over there, the 25-year-old rookie quarterback getting things done. I mean, if they keep trending this way, it's going to be tough, man. Jane Daniels had the first half of the season, Bo Nix second half. We know recency bias always plays a factor in who played better down the latter stretch of the season. So might have a better record. We'll see how things shake up with that as well. I'm going to say it's not a hot take, man.
All right, and then the second one I have for you is hot or not, the Super Bowl champion will come out of the AFC.
That's also not a hot take, man. You're Philly Eagles, man, listen to you talk about them all the time. Don't sound super confident in their Super Bowl potential so far. You look at it, the Niners, they're a question mark out there in the NFC. The Seahawks win a few games. The Cardinals win some. The Packers, Jordan Love, he's been banged up big time this season. They barely beat the Bears last week. It's tough, man. You look at the NFCs, no clear-cut favorite, but it's why you play the game of football, man. You go down to the end of the season. It looked like the Chiefs were just finding ways to win. They finally lose one last week to the Bills. Still got to play the game, but right now AFC definitely looks like the favorite to win the Super Bowl right now.
Yeah, I would say the only hope for the NFC right now is the Lions. But other than that,
yeah, you're right. Totally forgot the Lions, but
yeah, but I mean, Chiefs, Bills, those are clearly the top two favorites, and then you look at the Ravens, Steelers. What do they have potential there? I mean, some people still believe the Bengals could win out. You got Joe Burrow in that offense. You mentioned the Broncos, their defense. So the Chargers, they had a good game. I think the AFC is definitely the better conference right now. So whoever comes out of AFC, I think will be more battle tested. But I think right now the Lions look like the best team. So it'll be interesting. We'll see how these last couple weeks shape up. But yeah, those are my two for you.
Yeah, they had a blast last week against the Jaguars. So week 12 pick'ems, man. Speaking of one of those teams in the AFC, man, Steelers Browns in Cleveland. Just go ahead, I'll take the Steelers.
Yeah, man, I called it last week. I thought the Steelers, they would play a tough game at home. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Ravens win when they play the Steelers at home again later on this season. But this division is tough. The Steelers, I mean, Russ didn't play a good game at all. They beat the Ravens without scoring a touchdown. And the Bengals lost to the Ravens the week before after scoring 30. So it just kind of shows you how competitive that division is. Another divisional game, I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns put up a fight here and win this game.
I would personally be surprised.
Bro, AFC North, I wouldn't be surprised. Jameis, he's out there. He's, just throwing the ball more than any person, any quarterback right now in the league. He just doesn't check it down. He just throws it as far as he can, it seems like, every play. So there's a chance, but I do think Steelers are the better team here. They got the momentum. If Russell Wilson can get right, make a couple better reads, get those weapons involved on the perimeter, I think the Steelers would be looking to make a deep run in the postseason this coming playoffs. So, yeah, they should beat the Browns here on the road.
Yeah, Steelers tend to own the Browns besides 2020 playoffs. In case any reminder about that one.
Especially on the short week, a lot of times with these Thursday games, it just seems like the better team, the better players tend to, shine, whereas you don't get the extra couple days to prepare it, game plan. So you kind of just rely on talent, and right now the Steelers are a better roster.
Yeah, plus you had the Browns you know, the 1 week of the year question mark whether you think Taysom Hill is the best utility weapon in the NFL happened last week against the Browns. So Titans Texans in Houston. Texans they were hanging around with the Cowboys for too long the other night, but they are playing the Tennessee Titans at the end of the day. I'm rocking with the Texans. Joe Mixon, since he's been back, man, and all season long, he's been a key piece of this offense. Nico Collins getting another week removed from his injury back into the offense. Texans should win this one.
Yeah, I'm picking the Texans here as well. And we've kind of been on this all season. We've said this offense runs through Joe Mixon. And when he's healthy, you kind of see the difference to where last couple games, I know Nico Collins is really good. And I'm a Nico Collins fantasy manager. So I'm with everyone out there who got that first play called back, 77-yard touchdown. But regardless, we were able to see this team survive without Nico Collins, without, some of those weapons on the perimeter before. You look at Tank Dell, but that little stretch when Joe Mixon was out, this offense just couldn't move the ball at all. So they want to lean on the run game. They want to run it with Joe Mixon. Now, the Titans, they have a pretty good defense. It's just offensively, they just can't hang with, it seems like, any team in the NFL right now. So I think the Texans will be able to score a couple points early and then just hang on to the lead. Because Will Levis, as he stopped the, outrageous turnovers. We haven't seen any of those as of late, but they just still can't move the ball. So yeah, I think the Texans here at home get a big win, coming off of a nice Dallas win, like you mentioned. They kind of open it up there at the end, but yeah, the Texans once again are just the better team.
Vikings Bears. This one, I mean, the Bears, they were able to compete last week against the Packers. Defense kept them in the game most of the part. That offense, it just doesn't look too good over there in Chicago. Another firing this week. Just give me the Vikings. I mean, defense has been solid. The offense has slowed down since their scorching hot start to the season, but I think this one should be a road win for the Vikings.
I'm right there with you. Now, I will say, after, the firing of the offensive coordinator, the Bears' offense did look a lot better last week. You got DJ more involved with kind of the run after the catch. That's more of his thing, not really the outstanding route runner and separation creator. He's more of a get the ball in his hands and get him going after the catch. So they got him involved. Rome Odunze had a couple nice grabs. Swift had his one big run, but I think this Bears offense showed a little promise. Literally 2 weeks in a row, we see a team lose on a blocked chip shot or makeable field goal. So that was against a good Packers team. Bears defense, we always said that defense is going to be good. I think this is going to be a closer game than some people think. I just think down the stretch, the big playmakers on that Vikings offense, you look at guys like Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, another week removed from that rib injury. He's been a little banged up. Get him healthy. Hawkinson, he's still coming back off of that injury. So I just like the big names. I like the weapons on the outside for the Vikings, and I think their playmakers come through down the stretch and make a big play in the big moment. But I think this will be more of a low-scoring, kind of closer game than some people expect because that Bears offense, Caleb Williams looked a lot better last week.
Yeah. Next game up, man, Cowboys Commanders. Another game of Cooper Rush starting at quarterback for the Cowboys. Not much really needs to be said. Jane Daniels. Commanders have dominated teams below 500 this year and struggled against teams above 500. So I'm just going to keep the trend going. Keep it short and simple, man. Give me the Commanders.
Yeah, it's been a tough, 2-week stretch these past couple games for the Commanders, playing the Steelers and Eagles back-to-back. You can argue two of the top defenses in the league, two top three defenses if you want to mention Detroit. But yeah, that rib injury has definitely played a part on Jaden Daniels because he just hasn't been running as much. But against this Cowboys team, they'll definitely be able to take an early lead. And I think down the stretch, I think Jaden Daniels will have a chance to kind of solidify his Rookie of the Year campaign. He plays the Cowboys. I think they play the Giants again. So the schedule definitely eases up a bit for him there. Oh, and before the Steelers, didn't they play the Ravens too? So a tough stretch there. So yeah, I mean, this is a classic get-right game against the Cowboys. I mean, listen, man, Dallas fans, when it rains, it pours, man. The stadium's falling apart. Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy aren't on the same page. Micah Parsons is just out there, looks like doing cardio. I mean, it's tough. They're the only team in professional sports that haven't won a home game this season. They've trailed by 20 more times than they led at their own home stadium this entire season. So it's not looking good on the road against a good Commanders team. I think this team will be looking to make a run in the wild card. And against that Eagles game, like they were in it basically until the end, until Saquon busted those 2 big runs. So this isn't a bad team. This is a good Commanders team. They're coached well. Dan Quinn, kind of his revenge game. Cowboys, he leaves Dallas, goes over to the Commanders. So, I mean, everything, like you mentioned, the Commanders beat up on bad teams. And right now, Cowboys might be the poster child for a bad team. So give me the Washington Commanders, I think, in a route. They have a fun game to, like you mentioned, the Texans. Everyone has fun playing the Cowboys.
Yeah, I don't know if that makes that Browns week 1 loss just hit so much harder and how bad the Browns were. But, I mean, I'm not even...
Well, you were playing the Steelers at full health. Like, Micah Parsons, he was fully healthy. He's been banged up.
Yeah,
He just came back. DeMarcus Lawrence was in that game. I don't know.
Dak Prescott off a fresh contract or whatever.
Exactly, yeah. He was feeling himself. Yeah, CD was healthy. CD has, like 5 different injuries right now he's playing through as a seeding land manager. So,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think at, like, full strength, this is the Cowboys could have made a wild card run. I thought they were a good enough team to be competitive, but yeah, without Dak Prescott, with these guys banged up, missing key players, it's time for the offseason.
Yeah, there's a lack of effort in Cleveland anyways now, so a totally different team. But Pat's Dolphins, man, let's move on. In Miami, the Dolphins coming off a win against the Raiders, man, and a game where it just seems like they struggle at points throughout the game to continue to move the ball. There's times where they're able to push the ball downfield, it seems, with extreme ease, and then other times where very quick 3-and-outs, penalties, killer, bring back drives. I mean, they were in the red zone. I think they ended up still punching in the ball, but getting inside within the 10, penalty called on you, 3rd down, incomplete pass, but a penalty opens it up for a 1st down to where you kind of get bailed out by this Raiders defense. And the Raiders, I said it, not really a good team. You got to go at home, handle business if you want to consider yourself a potential playoff contender. It's an uphill battle. Another game here against the Patriots, who have been a lot better of late compared to what they started off the season as. Played a competitive game against the Rams last week. Tough interception by May to end the game. But the Dolphins, you want to consider yourself a top team in the AFC, how you thought when you came into the season. Obviously, injuries derailed everything and whatnot. You're starting to play some good ball. You got to beat your division rivals here at home. Continue the streak. Put together 5-6 wins because you really need to get on playing tougher games down the road. So we'll see. But give me the Dolphins at home here.
I'm right there with you. I think the Dolphins get it done here at home. The Patriots they're a feisty team, and they can hang around in some of these games. And the Drake May hype train continues. You mentioned a tough interception there to end the game, but I think he's the real reason they're in a lot of these games. He's not afraid, pushes the ball downfield, super athletic. He's not afraid to take off and run and get it with his legs. So I think the Patriots have a bright future there with Drake May, an excellent athlete, seems to be a really good quarterback, throws the ball on time, doesn't really seem to hold on to it, knows where his receivers are. But the Dolphins, I mean, listen, as a fan of the Eagles, and trust me, when it comes to watching a quarterback hold on to the ball too long, I know what that looks like. And, every time I watch the Dolphins, like, Tua seems to, like, just hold on to the ball longer than, like, any quarterback I've ever seen. There's a bunch of times where I'm just like, he should just throw it away. And he's, like, running backwards, turning around in the pocket, trying to create.
Yeah, I know exactly.
So where, that's, like, not really his game. And it's like, it happened a couple weeks ago against the Rams. Saw there against the Raiders as well. So I'd like to see Tua kind of be more on time and play with more of that anticipation and quick release that he does. And I think you also got to look at the addition of Jonnu Smith. He's kind of been the X factor there for the Dolphins, and he's pretty much like taken over the wide receiver 2 role from Jalen Waddle. He hasn't really been as involved, but you see guys like Jonnu Smith stepping up, A-Chain in the passing game, and then Tyreek Hill is going to get his, 5 receiver screens throughout the game. But regardless, I think the Dolphins, like you mentioned, their defense has improved. They've stepped up, and down the stretch, like you mentioned, if they want to be a team to compete for the wild card, for the playoffs, they got to win this game, and I think they do. They're heading in the right direction. They just got to clean some stuff up.
I will say Tua has gotten a lot better when a play does break down. Even though he might hold the ball on too long some plays, his scrambling ability and just his mobility in general, keeping the eyes downfield while rolling out the pocket, keeping that ability to still throw the ball but also run was something he didn't have at all. It was one or the other. And usually on a rollout, he just wouldn't throw the ball for a completion downfield. He's done a lot better job at doing that so far this year, and obviously protecting himself as well. Chiefs-Panthers in Carolina. Panthers coming off a bye. You got that going for him. Fresh rest. Chiefs coming off a loss. Heartbreaker. Boo-hoo for Chiefs fans. Wow, one loss. I think they get right back to business and get a win here on the road.
Yeah, not much to say here in this game, although the Panthers have the chance to do the funniest thing, but I think the Chiefs handle business here.
It would, man. Bryce Young,
revenge game for the entire NFL.
I like that. Eh? Turn me up.
Go ahead and make the switch, man. You already got to leave, man. You might as well just put the Panthers, it don't matter for him.
Anyways, man, Bucks Giants, Tommy DeVito. I almost took the Giants here for a backup quarterback to get a start. Sometimes that propels a team to get a dub. I don't know. I got to ask you something. I'm taking the Bucks, obviously. If you were the Giants, would you have rather taken a quarterback instead of Malik Neighbors, knowing what you know right now?
Well, I think they took him, though they would have had to trade up, right?
I think they could have still got...
Malik Neighbors was at 4, so I think Bo Nix was there, and then I think maybe Penix, but we haven't seen him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he got in the game because how bad the Falcons got beat up, but...
Well, who was it? Caleb, Drake, Jaden Daniels, Marv, then Malik?
It was... I think Daniels went before May.
Or Daniels, May, Marv, then Malik, right? Yeah.
All Malik, yeah.
Or all Marv.
So they drafted 6. They could have moved
6.
up.
Okay. I mean, Malik Neighbors has been really good, man. I don't think
J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix.
Yeah, with Andrew. Yeah. I'm not going to say they should have taken a quarterback. I mean, outside of Bo Nix, we haven't seen Penix. We don't really know what he is. Yeah. And J.J. with his knee injury, he's basically redshirting this season. So, I mean, unless you want to say Bo Nix, and he's looked really good. But I think the Broncos and the Giants are kind of just in two different atmospheres right now in terms of where they are, to where I think Bo Nix was a really good plug-and-play, ready to compete now with that good defense, with the mind like Sean Payton, to whereas the Giants, they were kind of not rebuilding, but it was a Daniel Jones prove a year. Can you carry this roster that is a little underwhelming? And the Giants front seven, their defense is good, but they're definitely missing some pieces there on the outside and the back end. So I wouldn't say that they made the wrong pick. I think I like the pick of Malik Neighbors because when he's healthy.
Malik Neighbors. Yeah.
I'm saying I don't think they should have took. I think
the value of quarterback is.
I just don't think Bo Nix will come into this Giants office in this situation. Because you got to think if they took Bo Nix, there's no Malik Neighbors. So who's your number one? Darius Slayton, Jalen Hyatt. Who are you throwing to? There's really no one there. At least over in Denver, Bo Nix has Cortland Sutton, and as of late down the stretch, he's looked really good. Cortland Sutton and him have a solid connection. So there's some stability there. For the Giants, I think they did the right thing. Take the weapons. So now when they go down the road and they have their quarterback, you have a solidified number one receiver that can win against pretty much any matchup you feel confident. So I like that. I think it's a pick more towards the future. With that being said, I think they're also doing the right thing by putting in Tommy DeVito and not Drew Lock because they just want to tank and get a better draft pick. Regardless, the Bucs will win. Off of bye, Baker's been playing amazing. He's I think he like leads the league in touchdown passes and passing yards. He's like one of the league leaders. Mike Evans possibly coming back this week. Chris Godwin out for the season, but past couple weeks there's been no Godwins or Evans, and Baker's still been dealing. So
Cameron Braid's been eating.
Kadon's been really good. Yeah, he's kind of been the unsung hero for this Bucks offense at tight end. He's really stepped up, become one of Baker's favorite targets. So yeah, I think this Bucks team, they're still competing, man. With the Falcons losing to the Broncos last week, I think they still feel like they have a shot to win this division and make the playoffs. So Mike Evans coming back, Baker, he's on fire. Like that Bucky Irving, Rashad White tandem in the backfield. I think Irving eventually takes over, but this Bucks team, they're kind of like flying under the radar, but I think they could possibly make some noise if everything stays right for them. So I think they easy win here against the Giants.
Falcons on a bye, so I can't really let that Falcons loss slide. It was more like a manslaughter out there for
Yeah,
him,
that was
but,
bad, man. Bad. Can't believe I picked them. I've been high on the Broncos too.
Yeah, you have, man. And you were high on Sean Payton when he first came in with Russ, what he could do. So,
I mean,
obviously,
look at Russ now. Like, he's winning games, but he's not. I don't think he's playing at the same level to where he was against in Denver.
Lions Colts in Indy. They the Jets reports coming out that players are ready for the season to end, and then for them to move on as well. And rumors swirling Aaron Rodgers, they want to move on from him at quarterback. He has a worse win percentage than Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold in the Jets era. Funny stat that's been swirling around this week. But it's the Lions Colts playing. Lions red hot, 52 against the Jags, only gave up 6 points. Anthony Richardson playing quarterback for the Colts. They were able to get it done last week. So, trending in the right direction. We always mention, Anthony Richardson needs these game reps. Once again, dome game for Jared Goff. Another one under his belt this season. And the Lions continue to be red hot. They're getting a road victory here.
Yeah, before I make the pick on this game, I just got to touch on the Jets game. Like, first off, I have to say I was wrong. I thought this team was going to be able to compete.
They're on a bye,
they're on a bye, yeah. But it's like, dog, every single Monday, there's just, like, more and more, like, outlandish report, bro. Like, you fire your head coach. Then you fire your GM. They just fired Joe Douglas, who, outside of Aaron Rodgers, built a solid roster. Like, it's a good defense. Garrett Wilson, like, he hasn't really missed on a lot of picks. You could say O-line, but they've been banged up a lot. Like, this roster is talented. You can't say this is a bad roster. I mean, coaching has been okay. Robert Saleh, I think, was a decent coach. I don't think he was coaching bad enough to fire him. But then you mentioned, like, the report of the Jets players, like, they're not angry. They're not upset. They're just ready for the season to be over. Like, right before we started, I saw a report saying Aaron Rodgers is open to playing football again, but not for the Jets next season. Like, a new head coach and GM, we're going to want to go in a different direction. Like, this is just bad, bro. Like, the Jets might be, like, the, just worst, like, most cursed franchise right now in football because
I think there's one more, man.
I don't know. It's tough, bro. Like, there's some, like, say Bears and quarterback luck or whatever going there. Browns, I mean, at least the Browns, like, you saw the Browns win a playoff game in your lifetime. Like,
that's right, yeah.
There's Jets fans that are like, when's the last time they won to play? Like, Mark Sanchez
when
like,
they went to the AFC title
how
game.
long ago was that? It was like 2009, 2008.
I think
like,
it was 7 and 8 or something like that.
So there's, like, legit cognitive Jets fans that just have not seen anything but despair in their lifetime, which is actually crazy to say. Regardless, that was my little Jets rant. I definitely thought they'd be better. They have talent. Like, it's crazy that they're this bad. Regardless, the Lions, on the other hand, are not bad. Against the Colts team, Anthony Richardson looked a lot better now. Was it because it was against that Jets team, that Jets defense? I would say yes. But regardless, the only chance the Colts have to win this game is, like, Anthony Richardson just, like, goes, like, nuclear and kind of reaches his ceiling in this game to what everyone thinks he can be. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Lions continue to roll, continue to look like the most dominant team in the league, and they get a win here.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Like, the memes of Aaron Rodgers, him shaking his head whenever something bad happens, like he isn't the reason that bad play happened. It sums it up perfectly, man. And some people are calling him a system quarterback now. It's what the word on the street is,
I
man.
mean, what is his system? Like his own system? Like he always ran his own shit wherever he was at. He's just old, bro.
He's only
like,
been in one place, but
not as mobile.
And Achilles injury.
Yeah, it's tough to come back.
He's
I don't
open
know,
to playing football again, man. I don't know. Maybe he should not touch grass because last time he did that, he came back. Broncos Raiders in Vegas. Just mentioned how bad the Raiders are. I was at that game, and I'll be honest, I was disappointed with how many empty seats I saw on that Dolphins side when I looked across. Classic Miami, but I mean, the Raiders are just, at the end of the day, not good, man. Max Crosby, your best player. First play of the game, he had a flag. It's tough. Gardner Minshew's out there. He looks absolutely lost. They can't get anything going in the run game. Just every phase of their play is bad. They had a kickoff that didn't reach the zone, start at the 40 on a drive. I mean, just talked about the Broncos manhandling the Falcons and Bo Nix being red hot. I don't see them stopping anytime soon unless Max Crosby goes absolutely nuclear for the Raiders. So I will happily take the Broncos here on the road.
Yeah, the Broncos are rolling and the Raiders are reeling. Like outside of like Brock Bowers is the lone bright spot on this offense. I mean, he's like on pace to break pretty much every receiving record there is for rookie tight ends. Like you could arguably say right now he's the best receiving tight end in the league. I mean, I think he had the record for most receptions last game against the Dolphins for a rookie tight end. Like, it's insane. They just funnel him targets, funnel him the ball because he's pretty much the only playmaker they have. But unfortunately, they have no answer at quarterback. Yeah, tough time to be a Raiders fan. Definitely looking to draft the quarterback next year. And the Broncos, I think we touched on the Broncos enough. They're, like you mentioned, a sneaky team, really good defense. Bo Nix has been balling. Offense is rolling. They're a good team.
Yeah, I think the Raiders had a 4th and 3 in the 15-yard line, and they kicked the field goal, man. The Raiders fans were like, we're not happy. They were like, you might as well just – you're playing for nothing at this point. I kind of agree with him at this point in the season. You just got to start going for those 4th and 3, 4th and 4. You're inside the red zone. Take the chance. What do you have to lose?
Yeah. Well, you said you were disappointed in Dolphins fans. There's no one at the stadium. I might have been, part of the reason I had the chance to go to this game, but I passed up. I was like, I'm cool on the Raiders and Gardner Minshew versus Tua at this point.
Well, once again, you're not a Dolphins fan. So
but regardless, I would have filled the seat, probably been like rooting for the Dolphins against the Raiders. But yeah, that's not a matchup I'm, excited to go watch. I'm not waking up to go see that. I'm cool off that, bro.
All right, man. We're Cardinals, Seahawks, man. At 12th man, Seattle. Two very good teams, in my opinion, out here battling in the NFC West. You, before the show, did not know how the Seahawks won that game against the Niners. Geno Smith continues to be statistically one of the better quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in the league all around. But some games, you see that old Geno come out, and some drives, you're like, wow, this Geno can really ball. That particularly that last drive against the Niners last week, leading the team down the field to win the game. That being said, I think Kyler Murray and this Cardinals team, they've also been another frisky team. I feel like they're the exact same team almost in terms of friskiness. It's kind of a coin toss for me. I wouldn't be mad if the Cardinals won this one. Seahawks, I think they need to get to Kenneth Walker a little bit more this week as well against this Cardinals front. I'll take the Seahawks here at home.
I'm sorry, bro. I don't see it with the Seahawks like you do. Like, Geno Smith, he's good, but they throw the ball like 50 times a game. So he's going to have the numbers. You got to give it to him down the stretch when it matters the most. You see him scramble game-winning touchdown. But, like, this Seahawks team is too hot and cold for me. Like, there's times where you see them out there competing with, like the Lions, they're on the road. And there's other times where it's just like, what are they doing here? Like, I know they just came back and beat the 49ers, but when they played the 49ers the first time, it's like they just got absolutely destroyed. So, I mean, it's just not a lot of consistency there with that team. The defense has been up and down. I think that might have been more of a, kind of rude awakening for the 49ers than it was for, oh, the Seahawks are good. And I think this Cardinals team is actually good. I think the way this offense has been playing, Kyler Murray, the way he's been getting the ball to his playmakers in the run game with James Conner, they've been able to run the ball really well. Kind of like you mentioned with the Texans, the offense runs through the run game, well, especially for the Cardinals and the threat of Kyler Murray on the ground. This offense runs through the run game, and then that opens up stuff for guys like Trey McBride, who's been one of the better tight ends in the league, and Marvin Harrison, who like just scores a bunch of touchdowns. So I think this Cardinals team is a lot better than the Seahawks. They're the division leaders right now. I think they get a comfortable win here. The Seahawks, I don't know. I just don't see it with the Seahawks, man. To me, they're kind of more of frauds and a bad team than they are a good team. I definitely think the Cardinals right now are a few notches above the Seahawks, but I could be wrong. Geno Smith could come out and throw for 400 yards, and I'm eating crow, but I think the Cardinals are the better team, and I think they win here.
49ers, I mean, Season 1 Battle Pass did drop for Call of Duty, so we'll see what Kyler's up to this week.
He's been balling, bro.
Hey, that 1 week was bad, but yeah, he has been balling. I've sat here and said Kyler Murray this season, I think they would be solid. He comes back.
In that one bad week he had, I think they still won.
Yeah, it was the James Conner one, like absolutely crazy.
He can run the ball.
Niners, Packers at Lambeau. Just talked about both these teams. Packers scraping out a win. Jordan Love's been iffy since he's been back. This team has been shaky up and down so far this season. And the Niners, what's their identity at this point in the season? They're going through their own major struggles, and rightfully so. I'm gonna take the home team at this one, man. Lambeau Field. This Packers team seems like when their back sort of gets to the wall, they bounce back, leap up, and then that's when they kind of let you down. And I think that, scrape out win against the Bears was maybe that. And now they turn up against this Niners team and send this 49ers fans into mayhem in the coaching staff, and take a look in the mirror what's going wrong in San Fran, because they still have, even though they did lose Ayuk, they still have the weapons. Juwan Jennings, Deebo Samuel's been banged up. Sure, you get McCaffrey back. Jordan Mason has been an elite rusher so far this season. I mean, he did a terrific job with McCaffrey out. And you still have, a great defense. There's question marks around the Niners right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm picking the Niners just because I think this will be a good game, closer kind of in score-wise. But, I mean, the Packers, if I had the lead and I was just, just picking off who I think wins, I'd probably end up picking the Packers. But this 49 team is banged up. Hopefully George Kittle, he'll be back this game. He's been balling this season, kind of been Brock Purdy's go-to guy. But, yeah, you mentioned, man, injuries, a lot of players banged up for this 49ers team, and then some questionable decisions down the stretch from Shanahan. Over the past couple years, it kind of seemed like the 49ers have had the Packers' numbers, so kind of just holding on to that big brother, little brother kind of deal here. Regardless, I think, honestly, right now, I'd probably say the Packers are the better team at home. I don't hate the Packers pick. I think they do win, but I just think it's a close game. I think the 49ers have a chance, and kind of like I've been saying every week, I'm trying to catch you, so I'm picking the 49ers here.
Yeah, Eagles, Rams. Rams scraped out that win last week, and listening to your Eagles bias, I'll go ahead and take the Eagles, not say too much here.
I think this will be a really good game on Sunday night. It'll kind of be another one of those games where you see strength on strength. The Eagles defense has by far been carrying this team so far this season. And you look at what the Eagles do best is they have that lockdown secondary, and they take away the pass, and they find ways to get after the quarterback. And then the Rams, on the other hand, Matthew Stafford and his two guys on the outside, Nakua and Kupp, since they've been back healthy, they've been balling, man. So as long as Stafford has been having time up front, other than the Dolphins game where it seemed like he was under arrest every single play, you give him time, Kyron Williams out the backfield, keep teams honest. But the way this Eagles defense has been playing, I'm gonna go ahead and say I think they're the best defense in the league right now. Quinyon Mitchell has yet to allow a touchdown. He's legitimately like erasing number one receivers. Held Terry McLaurin to 0 catches, 0 targets. I mean, that back end they're coming together. Reed Blankenship, another pick. DeJean in the slot. I'm just, it's like I'm repeating myself every single week. Got to show love to Zach Bond, to Kobe Dean in the middle. And then up front, Jalen Carter. It seems like last year, as the season went on, he kind of slowed down and disappeared. This season, it's kind of the opposite. Wasn't making too many big splash plays earlier this year, but as the season going on, he's just making big plays in the middle of that defense. A lot of plays that don't show up in the stat sheet, but he's getting to the quarterback, beating double teams, pressures, tackles for loss, big plays. The sack numbers aren't there, but he's arguably the most disruptive interior defensive lineman in the NFL. It's just amazing watching him get off the ball and fight through blocks and stuff. I think this Eagles defense, they continue to ball out, man. And offensively, Jalen Hurts, I come here, I say it like he's going to turn the ball over. He's going to make one dumbass play. But I think we finally have a defense that's good enough that can kind of, hide some of the blemishes of an offense that has Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, arguably the best offensive line in the league. Yet you still need a defense to cover them up, which is crazy for me to say at this point. But Saquon Barkley, he's going to run the ball, arguably offensive play of the year. This offense runs through him, and I think this will be a good game, but I just think right now the Eagles' strength on defense, they take away good receivers. Like, this is what they do. So you kind of take away that for the Rams, and I just don't really see how else they can beat you. So I think the Eagles win a good one, and I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, man. I went back to look at our mock draft because I was like, no. I had the Eagles taking Cooper DeJean in the first round. I was like, I don't think there was a corner available. I had Quinion going 15 to the Colts. So
we got DeJean just in the second round.
I had 15 overall. This guy slips to the Eagles at what?
I think they took him in the early second round. They traded up
22.
with Washington.
They took DeJean, early. But the Eagles had the 22nd pick in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I had him going 15 to the Colts. What did the Jets do with their pick again? Did they trade back?
They selected Malachi Corley, right, in the second round?
Yeah, but I'm talking Oluv, Fashanu from... Yeah, because I had them taking Brock Bowers.
Just like a little side note on that trade, just kind of like side piece, like I think it's a win-win trade. I think both teams kind of came away happy because the Commanders ended up drafting Mike Sanderstill, their corner, and he looked pretty good for the Eagles. He's been a really good boundary corner for them. And then also, I think the pick that they got from the Eagles, they took that tight end. I forgot his name, but he's been kind of like, not Zach Ertz, but their rookie tight end. He's shown flashes, and I think Commanders fans are pretty happy with him right now. Is it Ben Sinnott? Something like that? I don't know. I can't remember, but what I can say is it kind of feels like both teams are happy with who they ended up taking. It's not like a fleece or this team won to trade or this team lost a trade.
Yeah, the second round, I'm talking about how Quinion slid to the Eagles. That's what I was...
No, I'm talking about the Eagles and Commanders trade. Yeah, because a lot of times you kind of feel like, oh, how he fleeced. But I think on this end, both teams got a nice return.
I was pretty... Damn, man. I guess the Jags knew something in Brian Thomas. I had him sliding down a little bit. But GM another day, man. Whatever.
Brian Thomas is a dog, man.
Yeah, he definitely is. And
didn't we mocked him to the Jags? No.
Maybe you had that pick, but on mine, I think I had him slide in because I did every single one just to.
Okay.
I had them taking Terrion Arnold.
He's been okay for the Lions.
Yeah.
Just penalized a lot.
Yeah. And I had the Cowboys also taking Xavier Worthy, but
you look at it now. Shit, they could use him, yeah.
Anyways, man. Bills Adonai Mitchell, he's not getting used.
We had the Jags taking. Okay, I had the Jags going Arnold, yeah.
Yeah, the Jags going Arnold?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe it was, I left it blank. I don't know. It is what it is.
We did. This is a funny. Okay, yeah. I'm looking at it now.
I definitely went Chiefs Kool-Aid McKinstry at the last pick. The first.
Well, we had the Vikings taking JJ, just
F4.
trading
yeah.
up and getting him, and that kind of is where everything went wrong.
Yeah,
Well, it didn't go
it was,
wrong, but it just
I think it was me that did that too.
maybe. I mean, listen, you were right, man. They had
They
their
did
guy.
take
They
him.
just
They waited. 'Cause they knew the
He
Giants
fell
weren't
to
gonna
him.
do it.
yeah, Chargers
I had
took all Giants with Harrison. I
because
mean,
the Cardinals traded up, got Marv, then Byron Murphy. Yeah.
oh, we were right on all the quarterbacks.
Oh,
Except
yeah.
Bo Nix. So I mean,
No, I had Bo Nix to the Broncos.
I meant
Penix.
Penix,
Yeah.
yeah.
I had them going Dallas Turner, and so did everyone else in America.
Yeah.
My Jared Verse pick was right, and I mean he balling, man.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football. I think this is finally a good Monday night game. Hopefully, unless you want to talk about more of that draft. I mean,
Nah, we're good. That's another episode. We can come back and do a redraft or something.
Ravens Chargers, man, in LA, SoFi Stadium. I think this is gonna be a real good game. I think it's gonna be interesting. Can't go wrong with either team. Honestly, I kind of figured you'd pick opposite me, and I don't know why I picked the Ravens because I always love to see a good division rival downfall, but coming off a tough loss like that, man, I just think they got to bounce back here in a game like this. The Steelers getting another game up in that North Division. The Ravens, they want to be contenders. They got to win this one against the Chargers. A great team. Defense, the Harbaugh-led team. They've been able to win in different ways.
Which team?
Wow.
Harbaugh Bowl.
The Harbaugh Bowl, man. Brother versus brother action. I forgot that's another storyline.
Yeah.
We can add to this. Yeah. Well, Ravens.
Last time we saw this was a Super Bowl,
Super Bowl.
right?
Yeah. Colin Kaepernick versus
The
Joe
lights go
Flacco.
out.
Yeah. Jacoby Jones, man. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some questionable decision-making down the line for the Ravens. That two-point conversion, a lot of people were upset Henry wasn't in the game. Whatever it is, but give me the Ravens. It ended up last time, that way I'm going to go ahead and ride with history 2-0.
I'm picking the Chargers here, and if you picked the Chargers, I probably would have picked them as well. I'm a Herbert guy, and he played arguably the best half of football in that first half against the Bengals. Like, he was on fire. Just watching, like, the way he throws the ball, it just, like, jumps out of his hands. He has such a big arm. That offense is good, man. That connection with him and McConkey came down big down the stretch. Kind of seems like he found his number one. Quentin Johnson, Herbert like just throws it up to him and gives him a bunch of shots down the field, but it just never seems like he can get open on those deep vertical routes. But he's had a touchdown, I think, in the last 2 or 3 games. So his
big red zone target.
Sophomore season is going a lot better than his rookie season
100%.
went. So he's showing some strides. And then Will Dissly, like out of nowhere, is just a receiving tight end. He's been like a blocking tight end. I think he was like on the Seahawks forever. Like he's never been a big receiving threat, but now he's got a connection with Justin Herbert. So adds another wrinkle to the offense.
Will would get a couple grabs, bro.
But yeah, and then that 1-2 punch in the backfield. You look at Dobbins and Gus Edwards. Dobbins, he's had a big bounce back year. Might be in the running for comeback player of the year. So then you look at the defense for the Chargers. They're just always going to be physical. They played a good game. Second half was worse than the first half, but I think they got the talent. They got the guys to make big plays. Now, Khalil Mack was out in that game, so hopefully he's back healthy for this game. That's obviously going to be a big deal for this Chargers defense. But I think low-key, bro, where we see this game win here is special teams. Justin Tucker hasn't been good as of late. Just missing kicks.
All season, not even off late.
This past season, Justin Tucker hasn't been that good. And then you look at the Chargers on the other hand. Cameron Dicker has been
kicker.
Dicker the kicker has been arguably the best kicker in the league. He just doesn't miss. So if it comes down to a couple possessions, a missed field goal here or there, you'd give that edge to the Chargers. And I think these are two well-coached team, two organizations well, now for the Chargers. It seems like they're heading in the right direction. The Ravens have always been one of the better teams. So it'll be a fun game, a very physical game. Both of these teams will come out hyped. They'll be coming out ready to play. At home, can you really say it's home for the Chargers? I'm sure there'll be a bunch of Ravens fans. But regardless, I think the Chargers make this Justin Herbert and this Chargers offense make one or two big plays. We've been saying all season this Ravens defense will let you throw on them. They will give up big plays in the passing game. And as of late, Justin Herbert has been on fire. Only has, I think, like 3 total turnovers this season. Threw a pick last game, but I don't think he had a pick since like week 2 or something like that. So he's been protecting the ball, or not a pick, he fumbled. He's been protecting the ball really well. And the Ravens, on the other hand, I think, it's going to come down to Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry making big plays in the run game. Lamar with his arm. But I think the Chargers win a good one. And I think they're looking like real contenders in the AFC. I just don't trust that Ravens defense and Justin Tucker.
I don't hate it. The Ravens. Kicking's been bad all around the league, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this past week, it was started off super hot, and then, like, out of nowhere, like, this past week, everyone started missing kicks. I think
Dustin Hopkins went from winning the Browns game. He's cuttable at this point.
Yeah, man.
Along with the rest of the roster.
Shout out Jake Elliott, man. Got it started early on Thursday, man.
Anyways, man, it's, sometimes, bro, kickers are some weird people, but...
Jake the Make. Kickers are weird people. How many kickers do you know? Like,
none. I just from the
weird?
stories there. Come on, man. It's just like the outliers of the locker room, everything.
Listen, every kicker
I've
been around.
They're like the pitchers of baseball, bro. They just
every kicker I've been around has been good people, man.
Been around like 2 kickers. And they weren't even kickers, bro.
They weren't weird.
They were soccer players that went to go kick on a high school football team, bro.
Hey, man. That's where a lot of kickers get their background, man,
Hey, man, I got to shout out that UGA jit, bro. He really hit
soccer
that
player.
cash,
yeah,
bro.
So, hey.
He has some leg on it, too. He could have hit from another 15 yards out, man. I love what Pat McAfee's doing with that College Game Day. Fun and exciting stuff. Week 12 pick'ems, man. You got any last comments, takes, anything like that? I want to say Ben Simmons, your boy.
My boy Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
what? My boy.
I feel like you've been a Ben Simmons guy in the past, bro.
Never been a Ben Simmons guy, but okay, my boy Ben Simmons.
What's
up with Ben Simmons?
He's been making some plays, man. He's looked all right. Yeah,
he hasn't been playing.
No, he's played a few games.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago. I think he's out right now.
I mean, it's 2 more weeks than he usually plays.
If we doing that, your boy Joel Embiid, man, what's going on with the Sixers?
I love it. The Heat won last night.
They're like the Jets of the NBA right now.
The Sixers?
Yeah.
You think so?
100%. Embiid's like, well, he's been with the team, but like player meetings, they got talent. Paul George comes over. It's like bringing in Devontae Adams and all these guys. Like Maxi's injured.
I just
Everyone's
don't think
injured.
Joel cares about anything.
He's not playing back-to-backs. Like the potential's there. They got guys, young talent. Jared McCain, he's been hooping.
And Jared McCain has been.
The
doing
Jets have, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, arguably 2 of the best young players at the positions, and yet nothing to show for it.
I think they need.
I think the Cavs and the Celtics are playing right now.
Oh yeah, they are. Today's the 19th. Yeah. Cavs undefeated is crazy.
Yeah.
15.
Boston up 93-88. 12 minutes to go in the fourth.
Yeah,
Streak has a chance to end.
Don't let it be against the Celtics, bro. No one I hate more than that. Yeah, the Sixers. Mo Bamba took a shot. Not really a shot, but
Mo Bamba.
He called himself. Yeah, he said, "I'm not Joe."
I did see that. Yeah.
They were playing back to backs,
and then they just had reports of like a player meeting. Tyrese Maxey like called out Embiid, so to speak, and Embiid was like, "Oh, we had a player meeting. I didn't know." So he's out there trolling. Embiid's just a big troll.
Yeah, man. There's nothing worse than a bad locker room. You start to lose a team when.
Last time they were good, Jimmy was there and he was holding everyone accountable.
Yeah, that's why I love Jimmy. There's no true So I mean, people are gonna say Tyler Hero, but he does this quite literally every season. I've seen it happen, and Bam Adebayo too. He truly.
Speaking of Bam, your boy, he hasn't been playing that well this season.
Yeah,
Turned it up a little bit as of late, but
yeah, he's had
slow.
a couple games where he's been real good and real bad. He needs to get to that forward position, man. He's been a lot better spreading the floor, man. If they got a true big man out there, let Bam rock a little more out on the wing, play the 4. I think he could do some dangerous things, but we really don't have a big man. Get Dwight Howard off a podcast. I don't know what to say at this point. They need a big man.
You want Dwight Howard?
I'll take someone at this point. We need a 5.
Dwight. Well, I'm not.
And that's not like Cody Zeller this time, but
I'm not gonna make any judgments about Dwight Howard being the first name that comes to mind for you, but I'm just gonna leave that at that. That's who you're calling for. You want Dwight Howard on the roster?
There was.
Hey man, if he wins you games, I guess, bro. You know, hey, we've seen it
What
before.
other big mans out there, bro? You get Marcin Gortat out of retirement? Like, what's going on, bro?
If that's the case, you might as well just bring back Wall.
Oh my gosh, I can't even think of a big man, bro. Like, who's out
listen,
on the market?
big men are hard to come by, man. Pause. In the NBA.
Derek Favors, like that's not even a big man.
Derek Favors, wow. All right, now
I was just looking at like that draft.
Names, man.
Yeah, okay.
Derek Favors. He's like 40, bro.
If Al Horford could still hoop, bro, I think I could bring up Derek Favors, bro.
Al Horford plays like 15 minutes a game for the best team in the league.
Anyways, man, you got any last? The Heat need a big man, a true 5. That's all I'm gonna say.
Any last? No, I got nothing. Although I will mention quick, I know we don't really talk about it a bunch, but college football has been heating up. Second rankings just came out, talking about it a little bit before. Ohio State, Indiana, big game coming up.
Yeah, man, go Buckeyes. I'm really not a Buckeyes fan, but shout out the state of Ohio, man. Go. Yeah. Now we'll get into Colorado. We'll do a little college football, man.
Colorado, man, Big 12 champs.
I mean, they still gotta win it, but
control their own destiny.
Yeah, they do. BYU, disappointing game last week. That's for sure.
Yeah, who they lose to? Was it Arizona State?
I think it was Arizona State.
Yeah.
It was an out west game, man. It was late.
They've been coming on hot as of late. ASU's been playing some good football, man.
Yeah, I think I don't know, but that's the second time BYU almost lost to UCF too. So
yeah.
I think they're frauds, but
Oregon held on for a nail biter against Wisconsin.
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel, I think he's the all-time passing touchdown leader in college football.
Is he? I think Bo Nix was like the yards leader last season. So listen, man, if you're aging football quarterback, just go to Oregon. You'll have success.
Or you could have stayed at UCF and won a natty, but that's cool.
Well, we won't talk about that, but okay. You guys have the future, man. Risk.
D-Risk, man. 561 legend, man. He's out there balling, man. I always say the youngest is the GOAT, man. And he's out there balling, man. UCF is so shaky week to week, that run game. At the end of the day, I've been saying it for years. I don't think Gus Malzahn is the answer.
Wait, Jefferson got hurt?
Huh?
KJ Jefferson was injured?
No, he's ass.
Oh, they just benched him?
Yeah, they benched him.
Okay.
I went to another guy for like maybe a half. They threw Ja'Cory Brown in there. He was supposed to be the guy. And they threw Dylan in there. And now
can't hear. I know he got paid to go there. So
who? KJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, SEC quarterback. He should have just stayed at Arkansas or some shit, bro.
Arkansas might be worse at this point.
I mean, dude, I can't even explain how.
Although, didn't they just hang around with Texas last week? Was that Arkansas?
Texas isn't.
Some team was. I feel like Arkansas just, or was it Ole Miss or LSU?
Ole Miss is good though. Yeah, it's 20-10. They beat them.
Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, maybe he should have stayed at Arkansas.
Texas has no major wins this year. They beat Michigan early in the season, and Michigan's not good.
They don't actually, yeah. They lost to Georgia. And that was like the only real big game they played.
Yeah, I mean, beat Michigan 31-12. And Michigan, I think they're below
Michigan's
500.
Unranked. Yeah, Michigan isn't a good team.
Let's take a look real quick. I think
Texas beat OU too. That was they're not a good team either.
yeah, they're 5-5. They beat OU.
Texas did, yeah. Red River shootout or whatever they call it.
Yeah, well, Dylan Gabriel's not there anymore, so
Yo, what's up, bro? Dylan Gabriel is not all that, fam.
Dylan Gabriel's the truth, bro.
He's
Yeah,
like
they did beat Oklahoma, 34-3.
Yeah, but OU's not good. They got an okay defense, but their offense is terrible. They can't win any games.
Yeah, they're 5-5. Lost to Mizzou. I would have never called that one, but
Mizzou is like
they're
a weird team.
They're not bad.
They just can't win any big games, but yeah, they lose.
Go. Episode 113. That's the first time that's ever happened in podcast history.
Yeah, it's by that time, fam.
Episode
Wrap it up.
It must have been that day. Friday Scaries. Wow, it wasn't even turned on, but
about Dylan Gabriel.
All right, bro. Here we go. Back to 113. 113, bro. Go. So 113. We'll be back with another episode next week, man. Peace.